Welcome back. We're gonna play some Rogue Trader. Started a new game because it's been a long time since I played it. There's been a lot of updates happening. They voice acted a lot of stuff that wasn't previously voice acted. So we're gonna go ahead and jump in. We're playing Crime Lord, Operative. So just hop right in. Oh, I also got the DLC for it, so
An excellent place for contemplation. One has the best view of the cathedral from here. Mesmerizing, wouldn't you say? An impeccable manifestation of the God Emperor's sublimity.
you're in dialogue. Here you can learn about current events, influence the character you're speaking to, even alter the course of the game's narrative. Your character's personal choice depends on the dialogue choices you make. Available dialogue options are displayed on the right. There we go. How are we going to play this? Truly an awe-inspiring. Okay, you can go. An awe-inspiring sight.
That is the purpose of all temples to the God Emperor, to inspire awe and reverence. For it is the duty of his servants to persevere in their tireless service until they are presented with a chance to give their very life for the master of humanity. Allow me to introduce myself. Conrad Voigtveer, Master of Whispers, in the employ of Her Ladyship Rogue Trader Theodora von Valencias. At your service. I haven't had the pleasure of speaking with you in person before.
Voigtveer bows his head and focuses attention to you. My name's Battsy.
My regards, Master. Or should I say, von Valencias, scion of a blessed rogue trader house in the service of the Imperium. Perhaps this kinship came as a shock to you. Understandably so, given that all evidence of the connection was lost in the generations separating you and Lord Captain Theodora. It required no small effort on the part of Her Ladyship's servants to discover and verify this blood tie, which has now made you one of the heirs of this dynasty.
Why am I aboard this vessel? Why have I been brought here?
So that you may fulfill your blood duty. Whatever obligations you had before, they are henceforth null and void. By order of the Lord Captain, you have been requisitioned to serve the rogue trader, indeed blessed by the God Emperor. Your former position may have been different from conventional service as part of one of the institutions of the Imperium, but from now on, a different fate awaits you. One chosen for you by the Lord Captain. I advise you to come to terms with this reality as quickly as possible.
You tell me about the one whose ship I found myself on?
I would rather not discuss the Lord Captain behind her back. Especially not on board her ship. No one knows better than I that whispers are wont to attract particularly close attention. Suffice it to say that her ladyship is the bearer of the sacred warrant of trade and a woman of immense power and entitlement. However privileged your position may be, I ask that you do not incur her anger by being disrespectful or obtuse. Lady Theodora despises both qualities.
So if I'm one of the rogue traders' heirs, so there's another candidate?
There is. And you will meet him soon enough.
You have a curious title, Master of Whispers. What are your responsibilities?
To put it plainly, I am the head of the network of spies and informers who serve the interests of House von Valencius. I uncover weak links both among Lady Theodora's retinue and in the ranks of her rivals. I eliminate our vulnerabilities and exploit those of others.
I assume you had some goal in mind when you decided to seek me out. Let's address it.
But of course, I have come to invite you to a meeting with Lady Theodora. I imagine you have many questions for your patroness, and I'm sure she has just as many questions for you. It is regrettable that you haven't yet had an opportunity to speak. It has been an arduous voyage thus far. The Lord Captain and Master Edelthrad von Valencius are conversing on the observation platform. Let us join them there.
Okay. So what do we got here? Surefire plan at the start of combat. The Crime Lord gains +4 stacks of a Surefire plan effect. Activation of this. Okay. Activation of this ability consumes 1 stack and makes the next action stronger. If he attacks, they deal 14% more damage. If he moves, they gain 14% dodge and parry. And if they uses a non-damaging ability on that enemy, the enemy suffers a 14 penalty. And then we have analyze enemies. Gains +3 on exploits. All right.
Venture forth.
Some objects in the game can be interacted with in a special way. They are marked with specific icons. Some icons allow you to study objects, others will transfer the character to neighboring locations or launch a small event. These icons become visible when your character is standing close enough to the interactive object. Click left mouse button on the icons to perform an associated action. Some interactive objects, such as doors and chests, are not always marked with icons, but the cursor changes when you hover over them. Hover your cursor over the object. If the cursor changes, the object is interactable. Press tab. Hold tab to highlight.
Onward to victory.
And let alter with the copy of the 2,348th volume of the Lex Imperius, the Codex of the Sacred Laws of the Imperium.
Forge ahead. Never linger.
One of the von Valencius trophy rooms. Perhaps you would like to take a look around after your audience with the Lord Captain.
What's happening?
standing against me.
You've been ambushed. The battle begins. To survive in the grim darkness of the far future, you will face enemies of all kinds and fight for your life. These hints and tutorials will familiarize you. Click the button at the top of the screen to start the battle. Sheesh. All battles are turn-based and take place on a grid. On their turn, a character can move, attack, and use their abilities. With the cell within the highlighted area, double-click on the to move the character. Movement points determine how far the character can move on their turn. One movement point corresponds to one cell on it. Moving diagonally costs more. Every second diagonal uses 2 movement points. At the beginning of each combat, at each turn, movement points are restored to their maximum value. Character starts moving, the action can no longer be canceled.
I know what to do. Easy. Consider that off limits.
Ugh. Ah. Goodbye. Ooh.
I know what to do.
And goodbye.
What suspiciously poor timing for such an accident. Servitors malfunction on the officer's deck at exactly the same moment when the rogue trader and her heirs are gathered here. I have blocked all passages between the upper and lower sectors of the residential decks. If this is a deliberate attack, it should stop the culprits from advancing their plan.
Okay. Right out, no one's allowed to enter the premises station.
I'm afraid I must remain here. For Lady Theodora's safety, I have to oversee the execution of these orders personally. I hope you will have no difficulty reaching the observation platform on your own. It is just at the end of this corridor.